Hey HUD fans, Jeremy here looking at Capcom's latest release and the next addition to one of their most beloved series. If you're a fan of survival horror games, or perhaps looking for a fun adventure to fill your time, this might be your game. Today I'm looking at Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Longtime fans and horror-loving newcomers rejoice. The newest game in the long-running Resident Evil series has come, and might I say, it has a lot to offer. The game opens up on our main character, Ethan, as he learns the whereabouts of his presumed dead wife, Mia, who lures him into an abandoned mansion in Louisiana. However, things turn sour for Ethan when he's captured by the Bakers, a family of deranged residents who aren't quite as they seem. It's up to you to find a way out of the mansion and uncover the mysteries that follow you as you fight off the family and try to survive the night. In terms of Resident Evil games, it's nice to see a return to the roots of the series. Much like the first couple of games, you are put into a situation with a lot of enemies to deal with, and not a lot of items or space to remedy it. Yes, although more forgiving than some previous titles, item management is back, and it is just one of the challenges that you have to face in this game. Conserving ammunition and deciding which items to combine can be a struggle as you deal with enemies that soak up damage like a sponge, especially bosses. What isn't back in the series, thankfully, is QuickTime events. Yes, no more twiddling knobs and hammering down buttons at the speed of light. That gets my 2 thumbs up right away. They still hurt, FYI, they still hurt. It's also pretty tense and gives a scary experience to the player. The game's RE engine delivers some of the best visuals and gameplay that I've experienced in a while. The level and sound design work hand in hand to give you the authentic trapped in a mansion with psychotic hillbillies feel. It's a very specific feel, I know. Coincidentally, this is number 4 on my things I don't want to happen to me. It would turn a blind eye if it happened to someone I considered an enemy list. And number 3 on my concepts that might never happen to the average man, but for some reason would happen to me because of some sick act of a lesser-known Norwegian demigod list. Just a bit of perspective there. And speaking of perspective, this game plays from a first-person's perspective, like a lot of horror games play now. In fact, if you take away a lot of the recognizable Resident Evil elements, it's a lot like playing Outcast or PT. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if Capcom just bought PT and slapped a Resident Evil logo on there. I guess slapping Resident Evil on things makes you money. Who knew? Excuse me. Oh, come on. Oh, come on! Anyway, one complaint I have with this game is its puzzles. After playing the demo, I was anticipating a more challenging, riddle-solving based game, yet the puzzles I faced were pretty weak, and there are only so many to be solved. There's one real puzzle I was impressed by, and I've never really faced any real challenge after that. Another minor problem were the enemies themselves. There were only a small handful of enemy types, and I think that could have been expanded or at the very least changed in variation as the game went on. Despite these drawbacks, the game is pretty solid altogether. It's unique to the Resident Evil franchise, and I think this kind of gameplay will be the revival the series needs. It's jam-packed with a lot of things you might not pick up on the first time through, and given that the gameplay changes each time you play on a different difficulty setting, you're definitely getting a lot of replayability out of this. More DLC, including a free one coming out in April, is on its way as well. Heads-Up Display gives this game 4 stars out of 5. Hey, thanks for watching this review. If you liked our content, feel free to like the video and subscribe for even more. This is Jeremy, and you've been watching Heads Up Display.